Hello guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for being here, and I promise to make it worthwhile. So let's go straight into it. Meet my beautiful model. I had sprayed her face with my Mario Baduschi hydrating spray, and then I went in with my Snail 96 to hydrate the skin. The skin needs a lot of moisture, a lot of hydrating. So the next was my moisturizer, and then after moisturizing, making sure that it was dry to the skin, I went with my elf primer to keep and hold my product, and then I went with my Pond's to reduce oil or to remove oil on the T-zone. So this were my foundation selection, and I went straight into using the foundation on our skin. And after it was thoroughly blended, I went with my cream blush, and then blending. After blending, I was telling my model to look up right here, and then I did my cream highlighting as well. Highlighted with my Ferrarici concealer palette, and then I set the face with my setting powder. I used Mirac setting powder here. I can't remember the exact shade here, but it was Mirac setting powder, and I was setting bit by bit. The thing about setting is that you need to build up. You have to build up. You don't put all the powder in bulk all at once. It is good to build up, and then I made sure somehow I set the entire surface of the face that I had concealer on, and then I went in with my Fenty Beauty in 450. Yeah, in 450. And then I wanted to use it to contour. Then later I realized that I think it was kind of matching with her entire face. So I did more than to contour. I actually went into the highlight a little bit as well, and then I continued to powder. Then I went in with my Silver Mark powder palettes. I needed that true shade, so I went in with a little light just to powder that set area, that under eye that I set initially, and then I used her exact shade to powder the rest of her face. Looking at her before picture, naturally her neck is a little dark to her face and her body, so I had to follow the body and then try to adjust the neck to suit the face, because I didn't want to pack a lot of product on the neck. So there's a way we actually do this thing, like, to match. So I continued my slay, and then I think I'd contoured the nose here, contour the rest of the face, and then I went with my powder blush. Powder blush is important when you have used a cream blush. So I went in with my airbrush setting spray to lock everything in, and then melt the whole powdery surface to lock it in. So here I went further to bake. So there's a difference between setting and baking. I'm sure you know that by now. So you set first immediately after the concealer, immediately after the powder and concealer, and then you bake afterwards, after powdering. So this was me right here, getting the brows in shape. I was trying to prep the brows just for when I'll be ready to do it, and I left that. I moved straight into the eyes. That is my Benai eyeshadow primer. That eyeshadow primer is is everything. It's absolutely everything. So I went in with my Fenty powder in 450 as a transition color. So I blended and blended. I needed that transition to be quite obvious, and then I think I went in with my Juvia's Place eyeshadow palette. I went straight into the main eyeshadow color that I wanted. I wanted a sort of nude, a creamish color nude. So this was giving me, I don't know, a peachy nude. So I went into my Silver Mark powder palette and I used one of the shades there, and I think I got what I wanted, and that was cool for me. So I blended both highs. For me, if asked what's the most challenging part of doing face makeup, I think is going to be the eyeshadow and the brows, because they are two. You have to make sure that they took the both. You have to make sure that both ends really match. Both ends have equal shade. Both ends has like they're equal. So for me, those are the two challenging parts of the face area while doing makeup. So I went in with my darker shade to contour the eyeshadow. Why we usually contour with a darker shade of eyeshadow is to give the eyes a shape. Yeah, it gives the eye this eye shape that is really suitable. And then I went in with my liner. I'm using my gel liner in Zaron products, and then I went in and then used it. The purpose of this is also to create a shape for the eyes, and you can see my winged liner. Eyelashes are one that's really stressed me while doing this makeup, because they were curled up. You know, those really curled natural lashes. So we managed to still do it, and that was it. I was trying to get the natural lashes to align with the false lashes, and this was my mascara, my Zaron mascara. And then I went on to also blend the remaining part of the lashes that the false lashes did not reach to align. So I went with I continued with my brows. Those were the products used: my Iga and Esther gel liner, and my Marbrook pencil, and my Davis pencil. So what I do is I line with my gel liner. And then I intend to fill with my Marbrook pencil. But somehow the Marbrook pencil was not really showing as much as I would want it. Looking at it in the video now, it looks like, it was really giving. But while I was doing it wasn't giving as much. So I switched to my Davis pencil, and yeah, it was giving me what I wanted. And I used Davis pencil to achieve the upper line of the brows. If you want to see, you will still see it. Like I said, this is a new channel. You'll be seeing more of brows, like brows. You'll see more of it. So let's just use this as a temporary brow tutorial. But you will still see more of me drawing brows in this same channel. All you need to do is make sure that you are subscribed, and then you share my video with people that needs tutorial on how to draw their brow, so that they can be plugged in. Because on this channel, you're going to be seeing more of brow tutorial. We are not resting until you know how to draw your brows yourself, until you become a pro with your brows, and then until you become a pro with your client's brow. This channel, I got you locked in. 100%. So I used my mascara wand to blend the pencil, the gel liner into our skin alongside with the hair. So I don't know how I can explain that, but I will still do more of the explanation in my other videos. So all you need to do is to blend. You don't want to leave the pencil hanging or having a sort of demarcation that would be able to differentiate between where the pencil is and where the natural brows are. So you need to blend it. You really need to blend it. So I'm doing the second eye. Of course, this was supposed to be done off camera to save space, but I just needed you to see how I do my brows, and trust me, there's going to be more videos, more and more and more and more videos. So I fill in with my pencil, filling in, and then draw a line stroke. You don't want it too dark, you don't want it too light. And then I went in with my gel liner again, because gel liner gives this sharp and definite line that pencil might not really give if your pencil becomes blunt along the line. But you see, gel liner and a very flat brush is going to give you immediately. So I continue to blend and blend and blend. So here I went in with my flat brush, another form of flat brush, to highlight my brows. And I think I use my usual concealer, my Ferrari concealer palette, in the shade that I use to highlight our under eyes. Is very, very important. Don't use a darker shade, don't use a different shade. It has to be the shade used under your eyes. So it's very, very important. So right here, I was using the back of my mascara wand to blend. You could use a different blending brush. Anyhow, whatever works for you is fine. Just make sure those brow area are well blended. Is very, very, very important. And then I did the second brows, and the same method. Make sure your brush is a very flat brush. That's one of the hack that most people do not know. They just think, oh, just give me a brush. Just give me this brush. I'm going to know. Make sure your brush is flat. It makes your work very, very, very easy. So I continue to blend. At this point, I even used my hand because I really wanted them well blended. And then I had one or two adjustments to do on the brows, and here you have it. Look at the brows. They are giving what they are supposed to give, giving what's supposed to give. So afterwards, after the adjustment here and there, going back and forth, making sure that the brows has to give, you make sure you use your powder. You make use of the powder to blot the oil on the brows. So let me wait while I get to that. But here I was still adjusting. If you know me, you know I don't joke with brows. So this was me using the powder to blend the concealer, which is very important. If not, you will just see that particular place shining. There's this oily shine that it has, that it doesn't show professionalism. So you have to blend it out with powder, the same powder shade that you used under the eyes. So I continued with my lips. That is my almighty eye magic lip palette. That palette has been with me now for more than 5 years. The same palette. So I used a shade dark there, and one of the two shades to line, one of the dark shades to line, and then I went in with my color. What I used first was a shade in my Ferrari concealer, and then I mixed with one of the pink color in the lip palette, and then I blended that. Then I went in with my Nuban concealer, and then I used one of the white shade in the lip palette to also make sure it gives me what I want. There's this thing about what I want. I'm not able to explain it, but I have a picture of what I want, and if it doesn't give, I would not stop. So it has to give what I want. I went back with the white. It has to give it, or else we will be there. So I continued, and then I think at this point it was giving what I wanted. And I went in with my Fenty Beauty lip gloss, a colored lip gloss like this. I don't know the shade. I'm sorry, I don't know the shade. I think I'll do better with showing my products. I'll do better. It's a new channel, so please bear with me. So I wanted to finish up with I wanted to finish up the face. You see my Fenty Beauty powder there that broke. I'm still gonna use it. So there was a fallout, I think, from the liner or for the mascara. I left it to dry up, then I used that to remove it. So I was blending and then pressing the baked powder into the skin. You don't remove it entirely. You press it into the skin to maintain that can I say crispy? No, to maintain that blot, that shineless effect on the under eyes. And then I continued to blend and blend. I adjusted my blush, I adjusted my contour, basically adjusting everything, making sure that the picture that I have in my head has to match. It just has to match. Then blending the dark neck that I said initially, blending with the rest of the body so that it has to match with the face. And here's the final look. I was using my bronzer here is a Nuban products, Nuban bronzer palette. And then I was giving that forehead this natural shine that I wanted. It was Mesmetic. Is it Mesmetic? No, TM Essential stick. Is it shine or whatever it is? Like I said, I'm sorry. I'm going to do better with my products. Showing my products, and then I finished up with my airbrush setting spray, and this is the final look. This is what we have. This is what the whole process. This is the results. Did I eat or not? Did we eat? Did we eat this makeup or not? This is pure straight from the gallery. No edits, no filter, none. I mean none. Then we switched up the look. She changed her dress, and then I did the little touch to the hair. That was just a natural hair, and then we switched it up, and this is what we have. Drop your comments and I'll answer your questions. Thank you.